When we talk about this global perception that's been created that light and fair skin is better, even amongst race groups, where do you think that came about? And the origins of that, can we trace those?
Well, there's always been, as Dr. Ray so eloquently said, racism. I mean, if you look back even at Aristotle, talking about categorizing people, categorizing slaves based on physical attributes. It wasn't necessarily one of skin color, but the stronger were considered to be perhaps less intelligent, more industrious, more productive. And then there were correlations between physical characteristics and moral disposition. And we see that even happening today, where people make these inferences that foreigners or aliens or people of certain race impugning their sense of hygiene, impugning their sense of refinement, if you will. But then there's the other aspect of racism that has persisted, and that is the presumption that human beings are in fact composed of different stock, superior or inferior. Now, when we're talking about the more modern aspects of racism, clearly there's a correlation to the colonial experience. It was definitely incumbent upon Europeans to try to otherize and inferiorize communities and societies that they were seeking to overlord. It behooved them, especially several thousands of miles away from their home base, to go ahead and assert into the local populations that they were inferior compared to their colonizers. And unfortunately, this became internalized by many groups, whether it was in South America, whether it was in Asia, or whether it was in Africa. And we see the legacy of the colonial era of creating these kinds of hierarchies existing. But I wouldn't want to go ahead and place all the blame on Europe. We see this happening also, for example, in the Indian subcontinent,
right,
where as the Aryan invasion came into South Asia, the indigenous populations, as they were driven further into the south, were not only otherized, were not only inferiorized, but that